You are surrounded. Not by armies, not by knives in the dark. You are surrounded by eyes. Eyes that smile to your face, but watch your hands. Eyes that wait for a single stumble, a single crack in the armor. This is the silent war, the one they don't teach you in school, the one hidden beneath boardroom handshakes and dinner table pleasantries. You feel it in your gut, that low hum of tension when you walk into a room, the sudden silence when you approach a group, the subtle shift in posture. You are the apex, and apex attracts the hunters. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this arena 500 years ago. Not the Florence of paintings and poetry, but the Florence of betrayal, of poisoned grapes, of papal schemes and mercenary hearts. He wrote a manual, not for the masses, but for the prince, the one who stands alone on the hill, watching the wolves circle below. And in that manual, buried beneath the tactics, lies the ultimate law, the one law that determines if you become the statue or the dust beneath it. When enemies surround you, the natural instinct is panic, fight or flight. Your blood screams, your ego demands a reaction. You want to strike first, you want to prove them wrong, you want to expose their lies. That is the trap. Machiavelli observed the fox and the lion. The lion fights, the fox avoids traps. But when you are surrounded, you must become something else entirely. You must become the spider in the center of the web. The spider does not chase every fly that lands on the silk. It waits. It feels the vibrations. It deciphers which thread is taut with genuine threat and which is just the wind. Your enemies expect you to react. They are feeding off your energy. They have built a narrative around you, a story where you were the tyrant, the obstacle, the outdated relic. They gather in the shadows, reinforcing this story, convincing themselves that their cause is just. This unity against you, it is their power, but it is also their weakness. Here is the ultimate law. When surrounded, you do not attack the enemies, you attack the perception of unity between them. Think of a pack of wolves. They are strong together, but the moment one wolf doubts the alpha, the moment one wolf thinks he could do a better job leading the hunt, the pack shatters. Your enemies are the same. They are not a monolith. They are a collection of egos, ambitions, and secret fears, temporarily allied against a common target. You. You are the common target. Machiavelli's genius was understanding that a prince must sometimes feed that division. He whispers into the ear of one enemy. He shows favor to another. He makes one feel powerful and another feel forgotten. He does not fight the pack. He turns the pack on itself. This is not about making friends. This is about exposing the truth that was always there. Your enemies do not love each other. They tolerate each other. And tolerance is a very thin rope. History shows us the master of this, not a prince, but a secretary, Machiavelli himself. He watched Cesare Borgia, the Duke Valentino, walk into a room of conspirators who had sworn to kill him. They had the numbers, they had the power, they had him surrounded. Borgia did not draw his sword, he did not beg for mercy, he simply smiled. And then he offered one of them a job, a better job, a seat at a higher table. Within an hour, the conspiracy was dead, not by the sword, by the seduction of ambition. Here is the question that keeps the powerful awake at night. Are the people standing next to you truly with you, or are they just waiting for a better offer? Ponder that. Let it settle in your bones. This is the deep game, the dark psychology that runs the world. At Symbolism Decoded, we don't just look at the surface. We pull back the curtain on the mechanisms of control. We decode the chess moves that shape your reality. So how do you apply the ultimate law when you have no Borgia's charm? When you are not a duke but a man or woman fighting for survival in a corporate jungle, or a family divided, or a social circle that has turned cold? You become a mirror. You reflect their own suspicions back to them.
You let them see their own ambition in your eyes. You remain calm. You remain silent. Silence in the face of a pack is terrifying. They cannot read you. They cannot predict you. And in that vacuum of information, they begin to project their own fears onto you. The ambitious one will think you are plotting against him. The greedy one will think you are hoarding treasure. The cowardly one will think you are planning an escape. They begin to act on these projections. They begin to move against each other, trying to secure their position before your supposed counterattack. You didn't lift a finger. You didn't speak a word. You simply waited, and they devoured themselves. This is the ultimate law. The fortress that cannot be stormed from the outside will always collapse from the inside. Your job is not to be the battering ram. Your job is to be the architect of that collapse. This requires an iron will, a discipline that borders on the inhuman, because everything in you will scream for justice, for vindication, for the satisfaction of watching their faces as you prove them wrong. But satisfaction is for the audience. Power is for the prince. If you react, you give them the story they want. You become the villain they painted. You validate their alliance. You become the monster, and they become the heroes. If you wait, if you let their own darkness consume them, you become the ghost, the unsolvable equation, and nothing terrifies the human psyche more than the unknown. Think of the most powerful person you know, the one who truly has control. Do they yell? Do they explain themselves? Do they attend every meeting to defend their honor? No. They are still. They are quiet. And that stillness is the loudest sound in the room. It is the sound of absolute control. It is the sound of the spider, feeling the vibrations, waiting for the precise moment to move. So, here is the second question, the one that will determine your trajectory, the one that separates the prey from the predator. Can you stand alone in the center of the circle, surrounded by enemies, and feel nothing but the cold, clear focus of the strategist? Or will the heat of your own wounded pride burn you alive? This is the mirror Machiavelli holds up, not to teach you to be evil, but to teach you to be real, to see the game for what it is, to stop pretending that the world is fair, and to start operating within its actual laws. When you are surrounded, remember this: they are not a pack, they are a crowd, and a crowd has no mind, it has only emotion, fear, envy, greed. You do not need to defeat them all. You only need to touch one nerve. You only need to whisper one doubt. The law of nature will do the rest. Entropy will claim them. Your enemies are not your problem. Your reaction to them is. Master that reaction, and the circle around you will become a prison for them, not for you. Stay dangerous, stay still, and most importantly, stay awake. If you want to keep decoding the symbols of power that shape our world, if you want to see the strings before they tighten around your own throat, then subscribe. Join us here at Symbolism Decoded, because the deepest truth is not written in books, it is written in the silence between the words, and we will always be here to read it for you.